Hello. As a programmer, I work all the time on working on scripts, and as I improve them, I change the code and I want to see the results as fast as possible. So as you can see in this video, the usual way is to change focus into the terminal and then run the latest command, which is pretty fast, but I'm someone that like to do changes in baby steps. So I don't do big changes, and if something fails, I don't know which line is failing. And it becomes annoying after being all these years doing scripts. So I recently bought a USB foot pedal, as you can see in this video, which is basically just some keyboard with less buttons. In this case, just one button. A few devices have 2 or 3 buttons that you can press with your foot. And yeah, in this project, what I did is to detect presses from this foot pedal, and every time it does, then run some command on my terminal. So as you can see in this new demo, it's much faster, and more importantly, I don't lose focus on my editor. And what I like from this solution is that, yes, some of your code editors may have some shortcuts to do it, but I like that this solution is very generic for any terminal, in this case in Linux. The Python code is fairly simple. It's just a few lines if you don't care about colors and customizations. First of all, you need to know the address for your device. In my case, it's event 9, and in Linux, you get that by running sudo evtest. And remember that address. On the Python code, you need this library. You can install it with pip. And first, you need to instantiate this class called input device. And if you remember that dev input, this address, dev input event 9, goes here as a string. And then in this line, you will start to listen every event that comes from this USB device. And because my device only has one key, I just need to filter key events in case if it's a mouse, I don't care, mouse events. And this is key release. I don't care about key presses, only key releases. So every time that I receive an event that is a key release, I'll run this argument in the terminal, and that's it. If your device has more than one key, you may need to add more additional filtering here to only capture certain keys and maybe run different logic. Depending on that, that's up to you. But yeah, that's basically it. There is a couple of implementation details. The first one is checking that I'm running this as a root, because handling USB devices by default in Linux requires root access, because you can execute or modify certain things that could be sensitive from a USB device. And just remember that it's possible to configure your Linux system so you don't need root access to handle the USB device, but it's outside the scope of this video. The other one is device grabbing. Why this is important? Because let's say I'm working on this code editor and I press my foot switch. The event goes into my code editor, and that's annoying. And something I realized too late while working on this. But fortunately, this library has the concept of grabbing and having exclusive access to this device, which means that if we are able to grab this device, the events are only going to come to this process, and other processes will not be able to see it. In practice, it goes like this. I already got exclusive access for this input device. So if I'm in my code editor, even if I press it, nothing happens. And yeah, that's very useful. And that's it. Hopefully this was useful. Thank you. Bye bye.